So you've made a new video and you want to work out what's the best thumbnail to use on that video. Well, the best thing to do, as with most things YouTube, is look at the numbers, find out what was working, and then try and replicate it or even improve it. So what do we do when we make a thumbnail? Well, we make an image that we hope someone's going to click on, which will take them to start watching our video. And the percentage of people that see the video presented to them, the number of impressions, compared to the number of people that click on that thumbnail, is called the click-through rate, the CTR. And the click-through rate is very important because it signals to YouTube that if this video is put in front of an audience which likes this kind of material, then they are very likely to click on it and watch the video if the CTR is high. Now, YouTube gives us a number of different clues as to what's a good CTR. They say getting north of 2% is great. Most people sort of struggle to get around 2 or 3%. If you can get it north of 5%, great. If you can get it north of 10%, yay. North of 15%, you know, etc., etc. But there's a lot of wisdom about what makes a good thumbnail, and you know, I think I've even done other videos on that. If not, I can do. But I want to show you how I would actually look at the numbers from previous thumbnails, and success and failure leaves clues. So go into your analytics and simply click on more, because we want to go and have a look at the details, and then change the time scale to lifetime, so we get all of the data. And then look down at this column here, and you'll see there is a column that says click-through rate, which is sortable. So sort that into highest click-through rate first, and then go down and have a look at what some of the top performing thumbnails are looking like, and see if we can find a pattern. So you see my top performing one here is 22.8%. Remember I said, you know, north of 10% is great, north of 15% is very good. So north of 20% is actually pretty amazing. And this is not a brag, because as I'm going to show you in a moment, this thumbnail is awful compared to what you would normally expect a thumbnail to be. Let's have a look. If you hover over the video title, it'll actually pop up the thumbnail. And you can see this one. It's a badly formed picture. You can hardly even see what it is, of a bus. Now, okay, the nursery rhyme is called Wheels on the Bus, but you know, you should be able to do a lot better than this. Can hardly see the bus. It's not a very good picture. But there is one thing about it, and that's it's got a very sort of bright blue background. Honestly, if I was looking at this now objectively, I would say that the only good thing about this is that it's got a bright background, but it's pulling 22.8%. If I look at the next one down, this is again a Wheels on the Bus one, and there's a better picture of a bus here, but it's gone down to 21.4%, which is still pretty good, but obviously not as good as 22.8%. We go down further, and another picture of a bus, another picture of a bus, and we keep going down, and these are all pretty good numbers at sort of north of 15%. They're still 18%, but they're going down quite quickly. So my analysis from this is probably that putting a blue border around a picture of a bus would be a good idea. But there are better ways of showing the bus than sticking it inside a border with a relatively distant shot so that you can't see it very clearly. So the next thumbnail that I design will have a blue border. It will have a picture of a real bus on it, and I will make it look like the real bus is sticking out in front of the blue border. And hopefully I should better get something around the 20% click-through rate, which will really help the video. Now, I want to say something about click-through rates over time. When you put a new video up, the YouTube algorithm will go and show that video to what it has deemed as being an audience very likely to click on your video. In other words, an audience with a very strong affinity to your content. So you're likely to get a very good click-through rate initially on any video. But as the algorithm goes out and shows it to wider and less affiliated audiences with a lower level of affinity to your brand, then the click-through rate is likely to go down over time. So typically you'll have a strong click-through rate, and then it will start to fade over time. So when you do this kind of analysis, always make sure that you've got this setting here on lifetime, so that you've got the maximum amount of data to look at the average click-through rate over. Now, again, with all things YouTube, it's a long game. So initially when you start your channel, you're not going to have very much data, and your data will have been taken over a relatively short time. So really you want to have a few months worth of data before you start doing this. But honestly, it's no more complicated than that. Just go and have a look at what's working and try and do a little bit better.